Welcome everyone to another Pixelated review. I'm your host, Pixelated Jordan. So, we're gonna stop the road on, the seasons, the series I've been doing. But instead, we're gonna review two books. That's right, a twofer. Technically you could say it's a series, but it's not. But it is, but it's not. It's confusing, I know, it's complicated. Trust me, I'll explain it later. Anyways, we have these two lovely books, Unkillable Joe and international bestseller author Joe Vallen, by Joe Vallen. And to be honest, these books are completely bonkers. All right, I want to start off with that. And it's got really crude humor. It's got just a lot of adult things, I guess you could say, in general. So I wouldn't recommend it to kids per se. Give it to your niece who's in the 5th grade who needs to read a book for for a book study or something like that. I wouldn't recommend these books for that. So yeah. But honestly though, this is another indie author, so I will not spoil anything about the story. I would just generally kind of explain how the story goes around and blah 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 blah, what I like, what I didn't like, and just the usual, it's just stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's about it there. So without further ado, let's start this review. Dislikes. So we're gonna start off with Unkillable Joe, and this was the first book made by him. And yeah, we're gonna start off with dislikes just real quick. There's very hardly anything I have to say about anything bad about this book, because I don't really have anything bad to say. The book is completely weird and bonkers, alright? And I think a lot of people will see that as a negative. I personally don't, but I kind of do at the same time. There's not a whole lot of structure to it, honestly. It just feels like things are just happening as they go along. And I guess that's what it is, that's basically what the book is. It's basically, we got a writer who has these ideas, and these creations all come to life, and they try to kill him, and it's weird. And though it's funny and it's weird, I can say with lack of just overall its normal structure, I guess you could say, from a book, this one doesn't land on it, but that's just about the only thing I can complain about, really. I'm really picking at what I really don't like, so I'm just saying. For me, yeah, pretty good book overall. Likes. So as I said before, it has a lot of crude humor, and honestly, I really started to enjoy it a lot. And I just think it's funny, it's weird, and one of the cool things about it is just that whole your creation coming to life, and then I guess wanting to kill you, I guess, is one thing to say. And the story is pretty simple as far as it goes. We have these other space lords coming over to Joe himself, the one with the number one power to kill the unkillable Joe. And it's honestly a hijinks and all that stuff. The side character is KT. We're not going to say her full name because I'm pretty sure that would get me demonetized quickly. But then there's a fight scene in there. There's a squirrel man. And then it actually kind of has a little twist at the end, which I don't think anyone would expect, especially for something like this book. It's narrated in a unique fashion, I want to say. I'd never seen anything like it, and I really did have a lot of fun with it. The first time I read it, I remember I was a bit confused, but once I really gave myself some time to look through it, and I was like, okay, this is actually pretty funny. And yeah, this book is hard for me to recommend to a lot of people, more or less because of the content within is very unique, I guess you could say. It's very just acquired tasting, if you will. But I did enjoy what was there, and it was a lot of fun. It's just completely bonkers. As long as you know that this book is just gonna be a trip, I think you're gonna enjoy the book far longer. Just turn off your brain and don't think about it too much, alright? Just enjoy what's there. And yeah, that's the first book of Unkillable Joe. So I guess we'll get on to the next one. Likes. International bestseller author Joe Vallen, by Joe Vallen. What is the true cost of success? What is the immutable law of the greater multiverse? How exactly does one achieve enlightenment? this and everything else of the success of Joe Vallen, the author of the best international best-selling author, Joe Vallen. Yeah, that's a whole lot right there, isn't it? When it comes to what I like, it's a lot more structured than what I came before. I think that's always fun, and Joe is still being, well, Joe. And as far as, with the overall plot, it's just a terrorist literally bought out all of Joe's books. His international, I think it was Unkillable Joe. Can't remember exactly on top of my head. But that's kind of how the plot happens, and there's a threat of World War III. Joe's got to write his final book to make sure there's not any problems with the world. So, yeah, I guess you could say a lot of pressure on Joe Vallen. And there's a lot of new characters that show up here that actually have a lot more importance to the world here. There is just a bunch of, just funny things in this one as well. Just before, there's a monkey in this one. The monkey's just, well, Tom Robbins, was it Tom Robbins? Yeah, something like that. We're going to call him Robbins. And Robbins is the worst. Just the worst monkey. And overall, I do like this Joe. He does remind me of the last Joe, which is still the same Joe as we know Joe is from the Joe before. It's just that this one is a lot more structured, like I said before, but a lot more just meaningful, I guess you could say in another word. It has more of a depth to it, and just being, I'm so random in this one, where this one has a purpose. So, take that as you will, though. So, yeah, I mean, there's not much to really say that, but overall, I think this is a much more sound story than what came before, other than what happened with, Unkillable Joe. But this one's still a solid one, needless to say. Dislikes. So as much as I think this one's much more structurally sound, it has a purpose and all that stuff, I surprisingly find myself not liking this as much as that came before, which is odd. Because I complained about how, there's not a lot of structure to the last one, which was I guess you could say, the biggest gripe I had. This one is structured, but I didn't really like most of the characters for some reason. They just didn't click with me. Joe was always good, so there was nothing wrong with Joe. The monkey I always had a good laugh with. The terrorist is a surprisingly well-rounded character. There was this couple in the story, and I never got around to like them. I don't know why. One's rich and big, and the other one is a famous hot actress or something like that, and they just fall in love in the hospitals and stuff, and for some reason that just always rubbed me the wrong way. Not because they fell in love, it just I didn't really care. I don't know why that is. I don't know why that's always the low point. Every time I come back to this book, it's like that part right there always gets to me, and I don't know why. But overall, and then when it came to the end too, because you know how I said there's multiverse in here? Yeah, that's when it shows up. It's definitely weird, and it's out there, it's outlandish, but then again, the multiverse is outlandish and weird. I just wasn't expecting it the way I was that it was. And though, like I said, there's a lot more purpose into this, there's a lot more messages and all that stuff in this book. It's just that, as far as I can tell, this one, although much better and structurally sound, I find myself enjoying the last one a little bit more. Though I could recommend international bestseller author Joe Vallen over Unkillable Joe, mostly because of Unkillable Joe has crude humor and not as well structured, where this one has it still, but is a lot more paced better. So I don't know what it is. So so I don't know. This one just kind of doesn't do as much as I want it to do, I guess. I don't know. It's really hard to pinpoint where this is, but still not a bad book. It's odd that I don't like it, even though it's structurally sound and has a lot more purpose for the characters. I don't know. Kind of weird, huh? Overall, these are bonker books, to put it simply. These are just weird books, and you gotta have an acquired taste for them. But honestly, I still enjoyed them, even with the little dislikes that I have. And I think that these are pretty funny books overall, and I do enjoy the cast and crew and how they just act overall. It's just, for some reason, even though the one on what's it called, international bestseller, is still technically better than Unkillable Joe, I find myself just laughing more at Unkillable Joe and having a better time than international bestseller, which is just odd still. Oh yeah, there was also an aftermath in Unkillable Joe, and I think that's on Joe Vallen's site. I can't remember. But yeah, that one was really long and annoying, and it did definitely drop some points to me when I first checked it out. But since it's not there anymore, it's like, yeah, it's better without that. This one though is an international bestseller, is still good overall, and it just, I don't know which one, why it just, international bestseller is better for me than Unkillable Joe is not. Reverse that, I think I meant. Whoops, my bad. Anyways, I'm gonna give a rating now. I'm rambling here, I know you guys don't want to hear me rambling here, so let me get you guys a rating on both these books. For Unkillable Joe and international best-selling author Joe Vallen, by Joe Vallen, I give a rating of, check it out. Hi, I want to thank you guys for checking out today's video. So yeah, we got another book here. We got 2 books here actually. So I do appreciate you guys watching, or watch my rambling and how I just ramble on with everything I say, and just I'm glad you're here just to watch it, just for fun. So anyways, thank you guys again for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.